Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are all well and in very good health. Folks, the World Cup started with 10, then it came down to 4, and now it's down to 2. That's right folks, undefeated India will be playing 5-time champions Australia in the showpiece final at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad on Sunday. But before we get to that, which is a couple of days from now, we have to look back at the 2 semi-final matches they played, and we're going to keep it short and sweet, my friends. And secondly, one of the reasons why I hardly made any videos this week or video vlog wise this week, because the World Cup has reached its final stage, so that's why there hasn't been any cricketing analyst videos from and I have to also touch on what has been transpiring in the PCB. I will do that in a subsequent video, maybe tomorrow before the final on Sunday. So then Sunday I will have the entire show for myself just to recap every single thing. So guys, without further ado, let's jump right into it, because India are looking for its third ICC Men's Cricket World Cup title, beg your pardon. And I gotta say, it has been a stellar campaign for the men in blue. They haven't dropped a single game, despite 1 or 2 teams giving them a run for their money. But the big story in the one-day game, or should I say in the history of the game, came out I think on Wednesday, 2 days ago, where Virat Kohli officially broke Sachin Tendulkar's record for the most number of centuries in the history of one-day international cricket by scoring his 50th ODI ton. And also, we cannot forget that record-breaking performance from Mohammad Shami as well with the ball, taking I think the second best ever figures in the history of World Cup cricket to put India into the final. Now, leading up to the semi-final, India haven't lost a single game. They've won every single game and have beaten everybody in the tournament, and they've been unstoppable. As for the New Zealanders who came into the semi-final, they had a few slip-ups there, here and there, but they were no match for India in the in this first semi-final match at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. And I gotta also point out, it was an all-star affair at the Wankhede Stadium. Why I'm saying that is because Sachin Tendulkar was there as the UNICEF ambassador, and as you all know, it's his hometown Mumbai. And also English football legend, former Manchester United player David Beckham, who's the owner of Inter Miami currently in MLS. He was also there as his role as ambassador for UNICEF. And not only they were taking pics with the cricketers, but also some of the young kids as well. And also, I must add, there were a lot of Bollywood celebrities in the house. And overall, the semi-final number 1 was a blockbuster. In fact, there was controversy before the game, which I want to touch on. All this drama with regards to change of pitch, which was orchestrated by the BCCI and the Aussie media and the English media running it. Let me tell you something. You see, normally I would say do research, or as what Alexander and Marlon Hawkinson would say on Beyond the Tape, if they see something, say something. That's a Trinidadian saying, in case some of my followers do not know that. But overall, let me tell you what it is. All this old talk about change of pitch, it's been going on since the start of the tournament. But the truth is, do not blame me for this, guys. Every time when it comes to subcontinent, especially subcontinental countries like the Bangladesh, the India, and the Pakistan, or the UAE or Sri Lanka, but there's always been chaos when it comes to pitch. If you look at example in Europe, or should I say England, they always had grassy wickets. Same thing too with South Africa and New Zealand. They would have those bouncy decks. But overall, originally the semi-final number 1 was supposed to be played on a slow pitch. We'll get to the second semi afterwards, because I found out that was played on a slow pitch compared to the one that was originally supposed to be a slow track. But I'm not a guy who like to be involved in conspiracy theories. But overall, Rather than getting a low scoring game, the entire cricketing world saw a high scoring run fest. Now, batting first, India posted 397 for 4 from 50 overs. We spoke about Virat Kohli's record breaking 50th ODI 100. He finished with 117, and there was also a century as well from Shreyas Iyer, his second of this World Cup campaign, and it was his second consecutive 100 overall in this competition. Now, New Zealand bowlers, we knew that they was going to struggle on this kind of pitch. If it was a slow wicket, it would have been pretty even Stevens game. But New Zealand, they fell way behind in the chase early on because at one point they were 2 down for 34 when they lost both openers, Conway and Ratching Ravindra. Then Kane Williamson and Dal Mitchell, they put on a big 200 plus stand, and by the time Williamson had gotten out and later was dismissed for a 2-ball dog, the game just drifted away from the Kiwis into the favor of India, and furthermore, New Zealand were behind the ball game from in the beginning after they came out to bat. Now, even though New Zealand did fell 70 runs shy of its target, Dal Mitchell fought hard for the Black Caps, top scoring with 134 in a losing effort. But we got to talk about this spell from Mohammad Shami. He is officially India's leading wicket-taking bowler in the history of World Cup cricket. He has taken 2 fifers before the semi-final stage. Today, he took 7 wickets. In fact, should I say Wednesday, he took 7 wickets for 57, the best ever figures by an Indian bowler in ODI cricket and in World Cup cricket on the whole. And keep in mind, this man had hair transplant a few months ago, and also he wasn't a part of the 11 for the first few games. And in my opinion, with that, Shami should have been there from the beginning instead of Ashwin or Shardul Thakur, and that would have been the most bloodiest, or should I say deadliest Indian attack, bowling attack world cricket has seen in the 50 over format. Now, in this game, as what I mentioned, Kohli went past Sachin Tendulkar with most number of centuries. But we got to talk about another list that I saw, and that is the most number of centuries in one-day cricket. Virat Kohli is now at the top of the list with 50, followed by his idol, the great Sachin Tendulkar, with 49. Rohit Sharma sorry guys, I'm getting a bit mixed up. Rohit Sharma, by the way, oh shucks, don't tell me I have mixed up the stats. I do apologize for that, guys. So Virat Kohli is at the top of the list, followed by Sachin Tendulkar. Rohit Sharma is still on the list. Then you have Ricky Ponting, followed by Sanath Jayasuriya, the Sri Lankan great. Hashim Amla of South Africa, followed by AB de Villiers, Chris Gale, Kumar Sangakkara, David Warner, Sourav Ganguly, and Tilakaratne Dilshan. They round off the list for most centuries in ODI cricket. Unfortunately, I could not get the figures of most number of centuries. It's my fault for that, and I accept full responsibility. So overall, India are in the final on Sunday, and I'm back in the men in blue, of course. In fact, I should point it out, since summer, I've been saying this to every single person that India would win the World Cup, and I have witnesses and evidence to back that up. Now, we got to talk about the Aussies, because Australia, they suffered a massive scare and ended up giving the South Africans yet another semi-final heartbreak. This is after the Aussies defeated the Proteas by 3 wickets yesterday in the second semi-final played at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. Now, South Africa won the toss on what was an overcast day in front of a sellout Eden Gardens crowd. And fun fact, the whole of Bengal was behind the Proteas. That's because while they were bowling, they were getting cheered on most of the time. Now, coming back to the first inning, at one point South Africa was at 24 for 4. That's because Stark and Hazelwood were behind a run riot in the first 10 overs of the game. And then David Miller saved the South Africans from total annihilation slash embarrassment with a fighting 101 in the middle of the order, and that saved South Africa from ending up with less than 100 to 212. So at one point they were 24 for 4 and got to 212 thanks to heroics from Miller and other lower order batters. Now Mitchell Starc and skipper Pat Cummins, they both shared 3 wickets among themselves. Now when the Aussies had came out to bat, they had their challenges. However, opener Travis Head, who by the way, just like India's Mohammad Shami, did miss a few games. Now Travis Head was a bit different because he had suffered an injury during the South Africa series just before the World Cup. He led the way with 62. However, once Warner and the other big stars fell at regular intervals, things started to become a back and forth battle. However, excuse me. However, Starc and Cummins, who did share 3 wickets among themselves while bowling, guided the Aussies over the line down the order, finishing on 215 for 7 with 14 deliveries remaining. Travis Head was adjudged player of the match for his all-round performance. And overall, I have to say that both India and Australia, they have the batting depth. But the difference here, India has a lethal bowling attack that includes Bumrah, Shami, Suraj, and then they had the spin twins in Kuldeep and Jadeja, compared to the Aussies, who have a very long batting lineup. Now, India bat all the way down to number 7, compared to the Aussies that bat all the way down to number 9. So, in my view, even though a lot of people are saying that it's advantage Australia, it's advantage India. Why? They know the conditions well. They will have the home support for the final. And I'm hearing a lot of talk that since they're playing Australia in the final, there's rumors going around that Ravichandran Ashwin might replace one of the fast bowlers. But in my opinion, there's no need to make any changes because this is the lethal bowling attack that can win the World Cup for India. Same can be said with their batting. You have Rohit, you have Shubman Gill, you have Virat, you have Shreyas Iyer, you have KL Rahul, and also you have Surya Kumar Yadav. That is the top 6 that you have to watch out for. If you're an Australian fan, whatever happens with the Aussies, their top order has to fire if they win the toss and come out first of all. The same can be said with India too. Now, given the advantage, I would say it's a battle between the brutal Indian bowlers and the Aussie batters. And the same thing I'm gonna say as opposite. It's a battle between the Aussie bowlers and the Indian batters. So it's Super Sunday drama come Sunday the 19th November, 4:30 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time, 2 p.m. Indian Standard Time, the Cricket World Cup final at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. So guys, I wrap up this video now. Sorry for it being at short late notice, but it's kind of unusual. I make videos on Fridays. I used to do it almost every single Friday till the CPL had ended, and then there was a point that I needed to take a break from doing videos on Fridays. So when the World Cup had started, I was doing videos almost every single day of the week or every 2-3 days. So guys, once the World Cup is over, I will still keep on doing videos. I'm not going on hiatus like how all those other social media experts would. So guys, as I wrap up this video, good luck to both Australia and India in the final on Sunday. I'll be back Sunday afternoon to share my post-match analysis, and also look out for a video in which I'm talking about all the shenanigans in Pakistan cricket. So until then guys, over and out. Cheers.